Hey everyone, one duo that no one's ever going to forget over the years is the Island Boys. Because with even how many people come in and out of the limelight on the internet, there will never be anyone who could possibly come as close to the character as them. Because everything about them made it feel like they came from another world. You were either blown away at their hideous tattoos that covered every square inch of their body, or you were laughing at how slow and brain dead they were, especially in podcasts. Personally, I think spoiling a kid at a young age is bad for them, but with them, it actually feels like all of their money has kept their mental age at the same state as it was when they were kids. Because whatever little they say sounds like something a kid would say as an insult in school. But either way, this did help them, because it led to people making fun of them everywhere, especially with their song as well. However, with most people in this situation would keep getting more popular and maybe getting an actual fan base, they never did. So after every few attention spike they got, they would be forgot about after a few days. At this point, I'm sure most of you know about their incredibly low tactics to get their names out there, with even that seeming too much for them. So I think it's safe to say that now, with their more recent actions, it's a good time to look back at the insane story of the Island Boys.
As a commentary channel who covers other channels on YouTube, I feel like I've seen plenty of channels that get into drama out of the simple fact that they are doing out-of-pocket things out of desperation for views and clout. The best example of this is with the Island Boys. They were the music artists, I'm putting that very lightly, that we covered on the channel over a year ago. And they were pretty cringe back then. They blew up because of their Island Boys song and started to build their online following by replying to their TikTok comments or remixing that same exact song a bunch of times for their TikTok. But after that viral song that turned them into an overnight meme, the Island Boys, Fly Soldier, and Kodiak Red had struggled to stay relevant.
They really look like shit with their huge pineapple hair, but when they go buzz cut, it looks even worse.
Shortly after that. So like any creator who blows up overnight, lets the clout get to their head, and act like they are big time rappers, they kissed each other.
I don't get it. That's still the best part. It's so funny.
Just one of their public stunts that they did.
There's one they married.
Try to get attention after
they met each other.
Off of their short stint in the creator limelight. But for the most part, it worked. At least for a few months, until they'd become irrelevant online once again. Today we take a look back at the Island Boys and all of the insane things that they have been trying to do for the past couple of months in order to get buzz around their name once again. Like hanging out with Jack Doherty at his house for his live streams, or jumping on live streams with Aiden Ross and showing their meat in order to get internet news channels like Drama Alert to cover their online antics to again boost their online attention and clout. So strap in.
I'm sure every one of those situations turned out badly because they walked out or they got slapped.
To look at the Island Boys rise, and fall again into irrelevancy and the many attempts to generate a buzz around their name. Now, if you're new to the channel and enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Now, we all know how the Island Boys got their fame on the internet, but I'll do a quick rundown of the events leading up to where we last left off in our previous video, which came out over a year ago. In October of 2021, the Island Boys exploded in popularity on TikTok when they'd post their first freestyle song, I'm an Island Boy.
Boy, I'm just trying to make it. And I'm an island boy. I'ma keep it like an island boy.
Okay, that's enough of that. This TikTok sent them into an overnight success, but for all the wrong reasons. People started to clown on the Island Boys for the way they pronounced words during the freestyle and their whole style in general. From their
it's definitely some accent they're faking. It definitely isn't theirs.
Insane. They were easily clowned on by the internet, but this once again boosted their online fame. They'd reply to the haters within their videos, and it would only make them all that more viral. The Island Boys song blew up to over 20 million views on TikTok, and when they finally came out with the full song on their YouTube channel, that video also generated over 24 million views. But that was the most viewed video they'd ever receive on their channel. This freestyle was their pinnacle on YouTube and on TikTok, and they knew it. They'd rinse and repeat the song on TikTok a bunch of times with different lyrics every single time. But when they tried to upload new videos or anything else that strayed away from their original claim to fame,
that's true. I want to say this now, they look kind of decent before they got all the face tattoos, which makes me wonder if they got into the witness protection system in America, how much hours of effort would it take for them to get rid of all the tattoos and change their hair and the face to make sure nobody could recognize them in the future.
Which led them into a cycle of continuing to come back to the same old content. Now for them, they may have thought the song put them on. Like there were some new musical geniuses who changed the game with their flow and line delivery.
Boy, I'm just trying to make it.
But people were laughing at them and not with them. They were a meme at this point, but for some reason, they didn't realize it. Their online
Yeah, that's
careers
true. I think most people who get up popular like them intentionally make like shitty songs, but with them it's really hard to tell if they're in with the joke or they actually believe they make good music, but everyone's just hating on them.
give them during the interview, where George would tell them that they should sell their jewelry if they ever went broke. He never implied that they were going broke, but it was just a worst case scenario.
Of your jewelry assets and invest in something, so you guys will never ever be broke again. So I don't think there's ever gonna be a broke situation. But I'm saying, like, if you guys,
You,
Can't be worth that much. Man.
you can tell in their mind they're like,
no, you could definitely
sell my jewelry? Hell no. They can't comprehend the idea of going broke.
George, stop talking. We have multiple.
Wait, that was hey, that was
Nah,
for
he's
you
doing it.
guys.
Yeah, you
That wasn't like a hate shot.
I don't need financial advice
we don't
when I
need
probably
financial
make more
advice
money
from
than
you.
you.
But that was me being nice. It wasn't
Okay.
me being like an asshole.
not
I could be an
really-
asshole. I could turn it up and be an
Why don't you
asshole.
go talk to
Being
somebody
asshole
else
is not
about
gonna
that?
go in your favor. But look,
No, it could go in my favor.
like, you really don't want to go there, bro.
I could go there
Okay, you
because I was giving you guys nice advice and you guys were being assholes.
Hey, George, keep talking. I'm gonna walk out.
I'm right here, you guys.
Okay. So what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, you guys are throwing a lot of threats. I'm sitting right here.
No one's threatening
no one's
you.
threatening
Who the
you.
fuck
You
is
You guys said
threatening?
it's not gonna go my way.
Yeah.
This is not the Milk Boys. We don't do fake over here.
Yeah. What are you trying to scare me or something? I'm not scared of you, huh, man?
Dude, my hell would be just stuck in some podcast set as like a crew member behind the camera and just forced to listen to these fucking people
Hold on. No.
fight like children.
No,
Here, I'm moving for you. I was giving you nice advice, bro.
Did they only have empty Fiji bottles?
Did I say anything mean? You fucked up.
That makes no sense.
What the
Well, I
fuck are
think
you
you-
saying?
no,
I
no.
said if God forbid it doesn't work out. Who are you? Who's this guy?
all right, hold on. Dude.
What are you trying to show
Let's
I'm
have.
not showing up. I said if God forbid, which means an accident. If God forbid a situation would happen.
You know me from Island Boys.
You know who I am? He's like that trumpet guy. Who the fuck are you? I walked whoever that guy was up on stage. Who the fuck are you?
haven't ended. You keep on talking about it.
But
I don't
you
know
just
why
said
it's-
right now.
It's probably because the cameras are still on.
After this interview, the tide would shift. People online saw that the Island Boys thought that they were the shit, like they were on top, and no one can tell them otherwise. But they were severely mistaken. Their views fell off immediately after this interview, and people started to call the brothers out for the way that they were acting during the Logan Paul interview, with one of the brothers actually replying to the comments saying,
Okay, but to you, this is the problem. Me and you are two different people. If someone's talking about your financials to you, it's not a problem for you. But if someone's talking about my financials, I don't want to hear it. You're not the one that's making me millions of dollars. I made millions of dollars myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just me doing it myself alone, you dig? Him, he ain't never made me no $1 million. He doesn't have to give me my financial advice. Tell me to sell my jewelry that I worked so hard for and I accomplished. I don't gotta
He
do
did
that.
not put an ounce of sweat into his money and the stuff he owns. He definitely just got like rich from some relative.
Cause I make money, so I don't have to sell nothing. So he's wrong. He's incorrect. I have the right to feel any type of way. It's my opinion. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it. So that's why I walked off. You might you might think that he's right, but there's no right or wrong. It's how I felt. The podcast wasn't for you. It was for me. Man, stop, man. You know.
Who are these
you know
people?
for
What part of him makes him think that it's a good idea to respond to a random person in the comment sections
a
of his
fact
TikToks?
That man won't follow me, man. Let's be positive though, man. On the positive note, man, it was gonna be a very good podcast.
Man, fuck, man. This is what happens when your brain is actually fucking grilled. Like, there's nothing in it. Man, fuck you, man. You ain't shit,
Later on,
man.
one of the
You
brothers would get into
motherfucker.
some controversy with his ex-girlfriend. He'd be physically and verbally abusive towards her on her live stream and offline. This was documented by her on Instagram, stating, "Y'all want to be an island girl so bad. Go ahead and be one. Let me show you what it's like to be an island girl, beat on every day, treated like nothing. Don't believe the fairy tale they sell you." This was bad press for Fly Soulja, and with the claims of him abusing his girlfriend, it just soured the taste of anyone who was still supporting the duo after how they handled the impulsive drama with George. Then the Island Boys ex-manager would go on the No
Oh,
Jumper
yes.
podcast and tell
Adam.
Adam that the Island Boys owed him a ton of money, over $100,000,
someone else,
and that they made all their money off of Cameo, usually taking a full night in order to fulfill as many cameos as possible within a short time frame.
Okay, that answers my question. He did put some sweat to his money by staying up all night. God bless him.
as much money as possible. But even the Cameo money was starting to dry up at this point, and they were struggling financially. The ex-manager would also tell Adam and company that he walked in on the Island Boys doing some pretty weird stuff together in the bathroom.
The Island Boys thing. What's going on?
They did poker
they're
dirty.
Crazy, yeah.
They did you dirty? How?
Yeah, they just.
Who the fuck has a microphone standing upright like that? It looks so stiff.
$150,000.
From what? Your percentage of the Cameo money?
Yeah.
Is that the only money they're bringing in?
Mostly, maybe a little bit on TikTok, but I mean, it's pretty much run dry at this point.
Right.
2-3 hours a night straight cameos, but like that's literally
What a
their only
life.
source of income.
Holy shit.
And it's pretty much over.
So what
now.
happened? What happens when nobody wants to cameo anymore?
Yeah, because
mean,
that doesn't feel like it's gonna last
They
forever.
pretty much they're canceled everywhere. Like they can't really go outside like that.
Right. They definitely canceled it. No jumper.
Island Boys got kidnapped. You told me they was
Yeah,
doing
right.
some sus shit in the room that one day. Niggas was touching each other's penises
Yeah,
or
I don't
whatever.
even want to.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Island Boys got kidnapped. I don't know where the whole
He doesn't
gangster
really like, I don't want to get into it, but he talks for like the rest of the podcast about it. Also, what industry are they blocked from? There's no way they're big enough in any place in the world that they can make actual money from it. Cameo is like the only saving grace that earns them money, and at some point people just get bored of them and they won't give them commissions anymore. So I really want to know, there's definitely like some background with the families that give them so much money, which why they own all this shit that they think they're entitled to, but
thing
definitely
comes
not.
from. Like
They hit a little Island 69 or what?
No, like I literally like I was in the house living with them like, full time. I was like their daddy.
Yeah.
And I was like knocking on the door, and I'm like, "Yo, open up the door!" Like, nah, bro, like you can't open the door. So I opened the door with a credit card. And, like,
you lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're
I'm not
lying. You're lying.
I got in the room and they was in the bathroom, bro. And the door was like, I opened the door, bro. Like both their pants are down.
Bro, I opened the door and it had the dicks. I was like, what the fuck? And I ran and I stuck my dick in their dicks, and it was like,
Now, no
what?
one really paid any mind towards the comments that the ex-manager brought up during the podcast, and some may have thought that he was just airing out their dirty laundry because they never paid him, or that he was just lying to give them a bad reputation. But again, these comments went pretty much unnoticed up until recently. And I believe that's where we left off in the previous video. The Island Boys were falling off and were struggling to stay relevant online. One thing I do believe I missed was the fact that their home was recently raided in connection with a murder suspect in July of 2022, right before my
God.
original video was released. And one of the Island Boys went on to snitch on their friend for asking him to hide a gun for the friend before the police came barging through the door. Now, even though the Island Boys were raided, they weren't criminally charged in connection to the suspect. After this, they'd stay pretty silent on the internet. Like, they'd still post videos on TikTok and reply to the comments and act as if they weren't broke by flexing watches and chains.
Man, stop playing. I just caught myself a bet, man. 21 years old, all iced up, man. Y'all want to hate, but look what I just got. Straight first. Look at the red interior. I'm on mama. Stop playing. Bet. I'm on mama's mind, you hear me? A young is happy. Brr. Swear.
But at this point, they were practically forgotten about from the online world. The Island Boys song was dead, and because they were a meme and held no
yeah,
other
that's the
value
fucking
other
part.
than being something to point and laugh at,
I
their
praise
online
God he shows
popularity
the-
was
the boxing
completely
video
gone.
they did
But in the
where they
summer of
looked actual
2023,
twigs.
they'd hit an all-time low and would try literally anything in order to remain relevant. This strategy to become relevant again all started in the beginning of the summer when they'd start to promote their OnlyFans to their followers. But because they were forgotten
yeah, the
about,
OnlyFans.
they needed to act out on the internet in order for people to remember them and gain traction to their OnlyFans account. Drama Alert's Twitter account would tweet out a video of the Island Boys making out. And this was pretty horrible. These are two twin brothers who are 100% related to each other, and this is incest, and extremely weird at this point. And when people started to call them out for their constant need for attention, they doubled down on their actions and uploaded even more videos of them kissing each other to the internet. It would tease their followers, acting as if they were going to post videos with each other over on their OnlyFans account. This was when they'd
On
really
some side, you have to respect someone for going in that deep, but they abandon all the respect and dignity they have, that they just start doing more shit like this, where they start kissing their brother more. For example, if some like respectable duo did this and started kissing each other, people would lose their shit. But it's the fact like these two people who nobody gives a shit about already, the fact like they went that far to just get like a tiny bit of attention, it makes it way funnier.
Start to become relevant again, but once again, for all the wrong reasons. They'd hop on the No Jumper podcast for another interview where Adam22 would ask them their thinking process behind kissing each other, and they'd say that they knew the clip would go viral because people hated them and it'd be shared with a bunch of people online. They'd also say that they were heterosexual even though they were kissing each other in the video.
Kind of by surprise.
Yeah, so it was kind of unexpected, but we started off by just showing us like with their underwear on Twitter, and they're like, people were like, it was almost like they're like, you guys won't kiss. And I thought about it like for a couple days, and I'm like, wait, that'd be a good idea. I did some research on it, like kissing your brother, is it illegal? Is it a problem? Stuff like that, and it's actually not that big of a deal. In some religions they do it. So yeah, I don't know about making out, but kissing, yeah.
Okay, so when I think about making out with my sibling, like in my case, I have a sister, so it's kind of hard to imagine having a twin brother, but I feel, I don't know, like a natural biological sense of revulsion by the idea. And even like, well, I you know, I'm heterosexual.
Oh, that
so
smug piece of shit.
But like, even I'm looking at one of my friends who's sitting right here, and I'm trying to picture myself making out with him, and it just really sounds unappealing. How did you get over that? Were you disgusted by the idea at first, or how, like I don't even know where to go with this. Like how did you feel about it?
You know, we're twin brothers. We came out the womb together. We grew up together. It's not really disgusting if it's twins. Your friend, you don't really know him like that. We're still heterosexual. Yeah. So
look at him. He's trying to laugh so hard. I was gonna make the point. It is in this situation. It is less. It's fucking whatever. But it is more fitting because they are twins, and twins are basically so similar. They are one person. So it is like one person just like doing that trick where they put their arms around each other. So it looks like they're making out.
We kind of just made out or whatever. We kissed, and then we just like looked the other way for a few minutes and couldn't like, you know, look at each other, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just a kiss.
So it didn't feel sexual?
It didn't feel, no, you don't put too much thought to it. It didn't feel sexual.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, I guess I did text it to a couple of people. So a lot of people apparently thought this was so newsworthy that they just kind of had to talk about it.
Well, it was trending on Academics page for sure.
Right. His was probably the biggest one.
Like if your mom knew who we were, they're like something to talk about because people really don't like us. So like, hey, look, we got something on them. They kissed each other. So we kind of knew it would go viral.
Then after this interview with Adam22, they'd start to do live streams with some of the biggest content creators within the streaming community. A day after the Adam22 interview, Adin Ross would go live with the Island Boys, and this would once again fill their need for clout. I can't show the clip because Adin Ross' team loves to claim videos that uses clips from his live streams, so yeah. But then on August 7th, either the No Jumper Twitter account or the Island Boys themselves, honestly, I haven't looked again because it was pretty gross, posted a video of one of the Island Boys sucking off the other one. Yeah, you heard that right. But they were trolling.
Yeah, again, like I said, that is the equivalent of someone like removing the lower rib cage part, whatever, and sucking their own dick.
And according to Oompa one of the Island Boys was actually sucking on Carrot. Nonetheless, it was still very weird and controversial, but they knew that it would once again bring views onto their page. After this viral video, the Island Boys started to align themselves with another clout-hungry monster and Jack Doherty, who I recently made a video on just about a week ago, so check it out if you haven't done so already. But this made the situation even worse. Because the Island Boys were practically always
Is he like a piece of shit as well? I haven't heard of him.
More outbursts from them. Like when they got smacked by a content creator named Hanvi.
Friendly fire, okay? Like,
Bro, don't touch me, bro.
You don't touch me or what, nigga?
Bro, what?
And also when they slapped Jack Doherty. But after their 3 months of fame, they'd fall off again. See, the issue with their kind of content and brand, which is like shock content, is that it's just a flash in the pan. They never got popular for being good at something. The first time that they went viral for their Island Boys song, people were shocked with the way they looked and spoke. This last time that they went viral was because of the shock and horror that came along with the video of them kissing each other. Yeah, this gave them some clout and eyes back on them for a few months, but because their brand is ever revolving around shock factor, their popularity will never be everlasting. And because they couldn't even build a fan base because of the way that they acted towards people online and in person, they couldn't even get people to like who they were as individuals. They weren't even likable, which was another reason why they couldn't remain relevant. We see people blow up.
On the other hand, they did suck each other's dick. I want to say now, I wonder if the evolution of them would be the same if you switch the event. Like first they came out sucking each other's dick and then made the Island Boy song. I feel like at that point it would be like interchangeable. Because he is right, when people only rely on shocking people to be popular, they really can't maintain that fan base because no one really gives a shit about who they are. They just want to see them do crazy shit. And you've already like peaked. So I sound so fucking dumb. You've already peaked when you make an OnlyFans and you start sucking your twin. So you can't really shock people that much. So you can only rely on making good shit, which they can't, of course.
On every platform, sometimes for controversial things, but people still personally like the individual, but they don't like their actions, which can't be said for the Island Boys. This was the second time within 2 years that they went viral, but again couldn't capitalize off of their virality, leaving them in a state of irrelevancy. But this probably won't be the last time that we see the Island Boys in drama. Mostly because if they align themselves with other clout-hungry creators, they will always have eyes on them. They are almost exactly like Jack Doherty. They both do things in order to get a buzz around their name, but they do not care who they hurt in the process. They are all leeches, and once they dry up one venture, they'll be on to the next one to use it until it runs dry as well. But this is the end of the video. How do you feel about the Island Boys and their constant need for clout? Is it worse than Jack Doherty's, or is Jack Doherty worse? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any creators or video ideas that
I think the rest of the video seem like promoting his other stuff, but I think right now I've realized like the reason why even if they tried really hard to make good stuff that people enjoy, they couldn't, because they really have that image of them being like children, and having children as fans is really good to get popular, but there will be at some point where they grow up and they just despise you, and the best way to kind of like still keep them is by having like a masculine image. But when you look like that with all like the face tattoos and you look really scrawny and you act like a piece of shit to everyone, you can't really make yourself seem like a good person to be a fan of. Like everyone from all directions is gonna hate you. Honestly, if they spend more time, like apart from the cameo stuff, and start working for the people like artists, they probably could make like not good music, but music that would make them popular. Like even on TikTok, like really shitty music can blow up really well on that side because people just like use it for memes. So that would have been like a good avenue for them. But you can tell like they just really didn't give a shit and really like underestimated like how long their fame is gonna last. I think in their mind they really saw like they were gonna stay relevant forever. But of course, no matter how much people hate you, especially on TikTok, you will die out because there's always gonna be new stuff. And even if you go really extreme, like sucking your own twin stick, they won't be surprised by that because they know like how like low you're willing to go. So you can't surprisingly enough, you can't shock people by sucking your twin stick. Surprise, surprise.
Are you gonna be ready when it comes gunning for you?